So, in the last thing in the development of our spreadsheet, I wanted to look at this idea of cost justification of window 1 or window 2. And so what we have is the energy saved, which is a calculation. I zoomed in here so you could see this clearly, but let's just back off a little bit, see if I can grab a little more of the spreadsheet. So what we have is a calculation. If we click on this, you'll notice it's I15 minus N15. So it's the total energy used with one window style minus the total energy used with the other window style. That's the amount of energy that's reduced. The cost of fuel is just a number, a dollar and cents thing, and that's derived by a little research on the internet. Average natural gas prices per therm, like $1.32 in 2013, to a low about, now they're relatively cheap. So we can screw around with that number or adjust that number to say it more professionally. Let's say we take this number anyway, and we'll do it right away. We'll make this now $1.80. And we'll notice that our price over 10 years goes up. And the idea here is the value of the savings then is a calculation, and it's a because this is in therms, which is 100,000 BTUs, we have to do a little bit of math. So we take the value of the energy of this cell, which is a formula. So we take K34, this value here, the K34, we divide it by 100,000. That gives us the number of therms. And then we multiply it by L34, which is the price per therm. And that gives us how much it cost us for that amount of energy. So that's how much less we use of energy cost. So we have a number that tells us how much upgrading our windows are. Now we have to make some kind of a guesstimate about how much it costs to create or add nicer windows to the building. Triple glazed windows in this case. So we take the cost of glass per square foot. And what I've done there is take the cost of the Home Depot window, $318, just as a guesstimate, and divide that by the amount of square feet, 12, and that gives us just a number to work with, which turns out to be $26.50 a square foot. And it's a large window, and the idea we're using in our analytical model in Revit one large window, but we could use many smaller windows. The total cost of that is the amount of square foot times that number. Obviously, it's an increment, so you might not be able to buy the whatever number of windows you would need to accomplish that. But that just gives us an idea of how much value we're putting in our window systems, so that when we upgrade them, we have a feeling for how the incremental cost more is. So the 763 is really the idea that the better windows cost us 30% more. So it's just a mathematical equation of taking the total cost of the window, which is N37 times M38, 30%, to come up with that number. So now we have, this is how much energy is saved over 10 years in heating. This is how much the windows cost, and we can do an analysis. And there's many ways we can look at this. This is just how much. This is so a homeowner or a client doesn't make the assumption that by putting better windows in, they will pay for themselves just in energy savings. They can pay for themselves in a host of other ways, but that's other topics for discussion. Comfort, longevity, quality of being next to because they insulate better, all kinds of other value judgments. But this is the one hard number that you can actually have a discussion about also.